going on, everybody? Wally here with another tip and trick video. This time it's going to be on the engineer class and my ideas on how to run it. Now basically there's two different ways to run the engineer. There's the mechanic tank engineer. Basically you act as a repair guy, and then the second way is the tank assault anti-vehicle role. So basically I'll get into it pretty much because I have, I would say, extensive experience in both, especially in the scrim world back in BF3, and I've done a little bit of tank repairing and a little bit of vehicle attacking in BF4, at least in large pubs. So basically for the tank engineer, the mechanic, basically you either want to run a PDW or a carbine. I would say a PDW because generally 90% of the time if you get out of the tank, you're going to be fighting people at close range to that tank within 20 meters. Most of those PDWs are well suited. In this video I'm running the ASVAL, which is probably overpowered. I'm not going to lie, I honestly think this gun's going to get nerfed. It's just way too good as a PDW. It does as much damage as the MX4. It has a 900 rate of fire. It's got good mid short range game, and I don't know. It's got a suppressor built in. It's basically in the 9891 from BC2. I would say probably about the same. It kills just as fast. It's hella good. If you get a chance to unlock it, I would say go for it. Another good PDW you might want to run is the Scorpion. I think it's the CZ 381 or A1, something like that. It's the Scorpion's excellent as well. The MX4, the standard starting weapon, the default weapon, is very good as well too. As far as carbines go, that one's kind of up in the air. There's a lot of good carbines. The ACE 52 CQB is a great carbine. The M4 is my personal favorite. The ACE 21 is also excellent. The G36, the SG553, all of those carbines fit different roles, but I would say they're all pretty good. The M4 is definitely more of a mid to long range sort of setup, although it does kind of lack a punch at long range, whereas the ACE 52 is definitely a mid-range, long-range gun, but it does pack power up close as well. Basically, when you're playing as an engineer, as a tank repairer, you probably either want to run the SMAR or the RPG. I would say Law too, but I hate the Law as much as anyone else, especially as a tanker. I think that thing is retarded. I think it should be removed from the game, so I don't run it. But then again, you could run it. It's up to you. And then always make sure that you are running proximity scan as a tanker. I've tried the incendiary out, and it's kind of cool, but the range on that grenade is like abysmal. So you're better just running proximity, and keep that in mind. Basically, you don't want to run like a Schwa or a Jav or any other kind of rocket that takes time to fire, because you don't want to expose yourself. You just want to be able to fire a rocket, get back behind the tank, and start repairing. Second thing you might want to remember when repairing is don't look straight into the butt of the tank. Try to repair from the side so you give yourself more of an angle when you're repairing. I could go in more into depth of it with basically what I'm talking about, but if you take a tank and generally if you want to repair one side of it and turn your screen slightly so you can kind of see the angle so you know what's coming. Pay attention to your mini-map, the basics basically. As far as tank assault and I guess vehicle attacker role, this kind of gets broken up again into basically an AA role or an anti-tank role. Generally, whenever I'm running the anti-tank setup, I'll either run the offensive perk set or I will run the anti-tank perk set. Basically, the offensive perk set, the main reason I want to run it is because of the fact that you get sprint as a starter, and having sprint and being able to run in between cover to fire rockets is definitely helpful. The second thing you also get from the assaulter or the offensive class is more ammo. And generally, if you want to play an engineer and if you're playing with a PDW, most of those PDWs have very high rate of fire, and you're going to be running out of ammo. The ASVAL here, I'm running out of ammo the entire time I'm playing. It does have a 900 RPM and a 21 round clip, but still, like, I'm calling in ammo, I'm picking up support classes, asking the commander to drop me like that supply thing because I'm just always out of ammo. So keep that in mind. Whatever gun you're running, you kind of want to be conservative on the ammo, because chances are if you're running the extra explosives perk set, you're not going to get that ammo unless you have a support in your squad. Basically, the same thing applies. You can run whatever you want here as far as rockets go, but keep in mind that I would run the SLAM over the AT mine. And the main reason I would run the SLAM over it is because the SLAM is like a sticky mine. It does less damage, but it gives you the ability to stick that mine onto a tank. So it acts as C4 that doesn't detonate right away. It takes a little bit of time to detonate, but you can also throw those mines down on the ground. I love the slams. They're my favorite. I'm glad they added something like that. So if you want to try them out, I would recommend it. The 18 mine is definitely good too, but my recommendation is definitely to go with this slam. But as far as it goes, facing tanks, the basics again apply. Try to get height advantage. Always try to flank. Don't ever try to challenge a tank up one-on-one. If you, for whatever reason, feel that you get a better shot just by taking a long way around on a flank to get a back shot in a tank, go for it. It doesn't matter if your boys are dying out there. At the end of the day, if you get that tank, that's all that really should matter, in my opinion. Um, then again, it is kind of a mixed bag of things. Tanks now have AP, active protection. That's another thing you want to pay attention for. If you see that green light on top of a tank, hold off on firing your rocket until you see it red. It lasts for about 5 seconds. So if you see that up, just start counting in your head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe fire at 6. And then you'll definitely get the hit. Don't want to waste a rocket, especially when you're given a limited amount of them. That's basically it as far as it goes. I know it's kind of a short rundown of how to play the engineer, at least how I play it. Again, this is just my opinion on how to play the class. This in no way reflects any kind of stellar gameplay or professional gameplay on my part. Again, this video right here just shows you how I play Flood Zone as an engineer. I had a stinger pretty much the whole time because I expected a little bird to be up, but we didn't really run into any little bird trouble. The last map we did, and I pulled out a stinger and basically ran it the whole time. I'm not a big fan of the fire and forget, but as far as it goes, I would rather use a stinger over a law. I think the law is ridiculous. But then again, it's completely up to you. It's up to preference on what you want to run. If you feel comfortable running a Shra as a tank repair, go for it. But if the RPG does the most damage, then it's the Shra, then it's the Javelin, then it's the SMA, and then so on and so forth as you go down the line. I could go into stats here, but basically, the SMA is definitely the best rocket when it comes to playing against infantry and other tanks. It fires the fastest. It's got a pretty swift reload, and it does have a very mean velocity. So keep that in mind. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves out on the battlefield. If you have any questions for me, feel free to message me on Twitter or YouTube or anything like that. I'm always open. I have links in the description below. And I honestly hope that you guys are learning something from this. If you guys have anything you want to tell me that I don't know, please let me know. But that'll pretty much do it for me. I'm out of here. Peace.